How to identify and protect yourself from Forex scams. Now we're here to talk about the foreign exchange industry, which over recent years has now turned into multi-billion dollar industry, as we have a lot of people that are going into the business of Forex trading. As we all know, Forex trading is an online business, and no thanks to, or rather I should say thanks to the pandemic, now online is now key, meaning that now you don't have to leave your house in order to get things done. Business is right in front of you, right? So the foreign exchange market is one that has grown and is growing and will still grow, and we need to be careful with a lot of information that we get to hear, right? Because we don't want you to fall into any scam. Now, who is a scammer? A scammer isn't someone who puts his hand into your pocket to take money, but rather a scammer is someone who swindles by you giving that person money, and then you don't get any return on profit or even your own investment at the end of the day, right? So we get to hear a lot of information about the business of forex trading, and you get to hear people say, hey, I can trade for you, hey, I can do this for you, I can give you this robot, I can give you that, and then at the end of the day, everything goes downhill, right? So we're going to be talking about people that you need to avoid. When we say people, we're talking about number one, brokers, right? We need to know more about the brokers that we're trading with, or know more about the brokers that we want to work with, and not just brokers, also individuals. So when we talk about brokers, the first major thing that we all need to know is that that broker must be regulated, and we have a lot of unregulated and dishonest brokers out there. As we all know, regulation simply means that that broker is abiding by rules of a particular region, right? Is under jurisdiction, right? So you have to do your own due diligence and ensure that that broker is regulated. That's number one, right? Because we have a lot of brokers that are unregulated, and they sell you this and sell you that, and then before you know it, you know, as quickly as they came, they have gone, right? And then when it comes to these brokers, they could be doing a lot of things. They could be easily be delaying execution of your orders, meaning that once you place a trade, right? Once you place a trade, they could be delaying that trade from triggering at the price that you set, and then it gets triggered at a future price, which is not the price that you wanted. Then another key thing that we need to note now is that some brokers, right? Some brokers could have the demo account different from the trading account. What do we mean? The feed, the data that you are getting on the demo account is supposed to be the same thing on the live account. Usually the only difference now is that the demo account isn't real money, while the live account is real money. So some brokers could make their own different from what is real, and there could be some manipulations here and there to make it look like you are making money on the demo account. And then when you cross over to the live account, it's a different story at the end of the day. One thing you could do with respect to this, you could always compare the demo account and the live account feed that you are getting on the trading application, right? Very key that we understand this, right? Some brokers also could give out high spread, right? Some brokers also could be giving out higher spread than usual. So it's always good to also do your comparison with other brokers, right? Just like banks, a lot of us have accounts with different banks for one reason or the other. So you can always compare with this bank with the other bank, right? Then another key thing that we need to know is that we have a lot of forex signal providers now. Those that are selling signals, they're saying, hey, my signal is the best. With my signal you can make X amount of money, right? And no loss, right? You have a lot of signals like that, and trust me, a lot of them are fake, right? I'm not just saying this so that you don't make use of forex signals, For me, I normally preach that it's always best for you to know how to catch fish than rather somebody giving you fish. Now, when you catch fish, it means that you know how to trade yourself rather than somebody giving you fish, giving you signals to place trades. Signals has to do with analysis. Why not do the analysis yourself? Why not learn it yourself? So these are things that we need to be careful with. And don't forget, based on this pandemic that has a lot of people on the lockdown, most businesses have gone under, and obviously when one goes under, it gives rise to another. And over here, we wouldn't want you to fall victim to the rise of, as an example, to the MMMs of back then, to the Ponzi schemes and so on. Because trust me, those Ponzi schemes are very much around. They haven't gone anywhere. They have just come back with different names. So we need to be very careful so that we don't fall into that trap. And trust me, if you do, after watching this video, you would have yourself and yourself alone to blame. And then some people would also want to sell you robots, and they say that this robot has never had a loss before, that this robot, as you all know, a robot is to do the trading on your behalf. You are not going to be doing anything. And then you buy the robot, and then you put the plug-in on your trading application, you set it up. It means that you don't have to look at the market, meaning that the robot is doing the trading on your behalf. And then before you know it, you set it up, and then you go, and maybe at the end of the day, you come out to check on what has happened, and then you notice that nothing but losses. Once again, I'm a believer in learning how to do this yourself. These things that we're talking about, trust me, I'm not trying to rubbish any robot. I'm not trying to rubbish any signal provider. What I'm trying to say is everybody needs to do their own due diligence and get proper information before diving in. Because you could even have some people say, hey, why not come and do this investment? Come and invest, and we'll give you 100% at the end of every month. They could be giving you one, observe guarantee on your funds and say, hey, come and we'll promise you X amount return on your investment. Trust me, whenever it sounds too good to be true, then trust me, most times it is too good to be true. And you need to take all of this information with a pinch of salt, right? Another thing that we need to also pay attention to, not just on individuals there that are telling you to come and invest, because now we have a lot of them, right? And you need to watch out carefully. Ponzi scheme is still very much around, very much. Ponzi scheme is something that has been there and will continue to be there. It's just coming in different forms and shapes. Another thing we need to also pay attention to now when it comes to brokers, any broker that has withdrawal limit is one that we need to stay away from. Any amount that you put in, you should be able to withdraw everything at any point in time. And any broker that is delaying withdrawals, especially delaying of withdrawals, which means that they're very fast to collect money, but it takes them time to give you back your money, or they try to prolong the time of you collecting your money. Think about it. That broker needs to be stayed away from, because it takes you longer time to withdraw your money, and then before you know it, you want to quickly place a trade, and then placing that trade, you end up blowing that account before you can even make your withdrawals. There are a lot of things that brokers and even individuals are doing now, because trust me, they're thinking of how to scheme. They're thinking of how to take advantage, and before you know it, you've entered into another forex scam. So these are the key things that we need to fully pay attention when it comes to identifying and protecting ourselves from forex scams. Also, for us to approach all of these things, we need to have a list of things that we need to know, that we need to do, right, in order to know which broker to make use of, or whether to go along with this investment package that somebody has to offer you. Now, what are we trying to say? First of all, you need to get educated. Yes, you heard me. You need to get educated. You need to know about the industry that you're going into. How does forex work? Who are the players in the market, right? How are the operations of a broker? What is the broker supposed to do for you? Because remember, you are coming in as a client, you're coming in as a trader, right? So you need to know what and also how the other party will be making money. You'll be making money from the fluctuation in price. Which other ways would the broker be making money apart from spread, right? Are there hidden charges with this broker and so on? There are lots of things that you need to do your research on. Most times I would always advise, don't rush in. And as much as we all need money in these trying times of the pandemic, it's always best for us not to rush in. You never rush into anything, because once you rush in, what happens? Correct, you're going to rush out. And it's very key and paramount that we understand these things. So we need to get educated, understand how the industry works, understand how and who the players are in this industry. And it's always good when you want to even start with a broker that you need to do your further findings. Where is this broker from? Is this broker regulated? Under which jurisdiction are these brokers under? How long have they been in this business, right? Because obviously a broker that has been in this business, right, for the longer the period of time, more or less, the longer the period of time, the better for any client to make use of that broker, right? Because you have brokers that have been here for over 10 years and they have offices all over the world. That means that they must be regulated, right, but by those jurisdictions on different parts of the world, whether it's from the Asian section, Europe, or even Africa. They must be regulated, and as they're regulated, mind you, regulation is different from being licensed. You could have fake license and so on. So regulation is key. Regulation means that there's a body that you can easily report that broker to, and if they see that that broker has been doing funny business or shady business, they can easily get fined. So a regulated broker is one that you need to ensure that you make use of, because that regulated broker doesn't want to get fined, doesn't want to run into any issues that has to dish out so much money at the end of the day, right? So that is very, very key for us to do our findings on. And then when you even get that broker, that you feel okay, it's regulated and all, you need to first of all start with a demo account. Look at how the demo account platform works, and you can also look at the live account platform side by side to make sure that it's the same thing that you are saying, more or less the same spread, and so on and so forth. Because once again, it's not every broker out there that we would even do something. Since we're talking about brokers, maybe in the next video or so, we'll talk about brokers. We'll do some review on some brokers. I'm from this region here in Nigeria, so we could do some review on some brokers here in Nigeria, or even brokers anywhere. We'll do reviews on brokers all over the world. So that means that anywhere you're from, when we do review on that region, we'll give you the information on why to work with this broker, and maybe the reasons not to work with this broker. So make sure you always monitor and compare the demo and the live account, and don't forget, don't rush into opportunities. As we said earlier, if anything sounds too good to be true, don't rush into them. Also, do your reviews. Go online and type the name of the broker and check on reviews. You can Google reviews on this broker, reviews on that broker, reviews on brokers in a particular area, whether it's somewhere in Europe or it's somewhere in Africa or Asia, and then get to hear what others have been saying. Get to hear the good and the bad, and then weigh it out yourself. Now, mind you, when you're comparing as well information from this broker with another broker, make sure you're comparing the same parameters. Don't be comparing oranges with apples. You need to ensure that you're comparing the same parameters, so at least you have a fair chance of understanding these brokers, how they operate, and which one to make use of. Very key. Now, if you notice, we've been talking about what to look out in brokers, and also not necessarily steering you in any direction to pick any broker whatsoever, right? Very key. So we need to ensure that we do a review, check online for reviews on different brokers, and then also find out how they're rated based on the reviews, and whether it is good to make use of this broker or not. Obviously, the higher the star that is given to this broker, the more confidence that clients have been using them. Check on the years of the posting, check on the duration, even check on those that have been posting, so they're not agents of that broker, just posting only good about that particular broker. So you need to do your findings, your proper findings. You need to be well educated before you go in and work with any broker. You need to also ensure that you take note of bonuses. A lot of brokers are offering bonuses, or some of them might be too good to be true. You also need to ensure that you read the terms and conditions of these bonuses, because all bonuses for different brokers will have different expiring date, will have different conditions, and so on. It's good for you to understand them, right? Because some brokers, as an example, when they give you bonus, like maybe the 100% bonus or whatever they want to call it, some brokers could tell you that you cannot lose the bonus, right? Or rather, I want to believe most brokers will tell you that they cannot lose. That is, the trader cannot lose that 100% bonus. So you need to be aware of that, right? Because if you apply for bonus, and let's say you are trading with $1,000 and then you are given a 100% bonus, now that means that you would have an equity of $2,000 to trade with. But then you think that it is $2,000 that you can lose. But meanwhile, on the terms and conditions, it is your $1,000 that you can lose alone. So you need to ensure that you read terms and conditions, ask questions. When you open an account with this broker or any broker, I want to believe you'll be assigned an account manager that will call you and help you out further. Ask that account manager this question or that question. Ask the account manager any question so that you are well comfortable before you proceed further, right? So another thing you could also do, apart from getting reviews and comparing with different brokers and so on, you could also find out if this broker is insured. Insurance of your funds could also be a plus. So just find out the advantages that this broker has against another broker. Make sure that that broker is well regulated and so on, right? And also pay attention to individuals that are trying to sell you one thing or the other. They might be trying to sell you signals, might be trying to sell you robots, or maybe investment schemes and so on and so forth. You need to take everything with a pinch of salt. As we are here in these trying times of the pandemic, truly nobody really knows when this pandemic will be over, even though we're having ease of lockdowns in different regions, because business is suffering, right? As business is suffering globally, they need to ease up on the lockdown so that at least things can pick up. If not, well, we're already going into recession, no doubt, right? If you do your findings, you check the charts and so on, you see that the market, more or less, I don't need to give you more information. Just go and check up on what happened in 2008, right? Because before we can fully recover from this pandemic, note there are a lot of vaccines that are being tested, lots of people working on vaccines and so on, but nothing concrete yet, right? If you ask me, because if something is concrete, we would all know. And also very key is that even when we have something that has been proven to work, right, over X amount of time, it is also paramount that we need to understand that it will take a while for that vaccine or drugs to spread all over the world, right? So we need to take everything with a pinch of salt. With the era that we're in now, we're gradually moving away from offline to online, and that's why we need to understand this foreign exchange market. We need to understand the online industry that we're looking at now, which is foreign exchange trading. Understand it well, understand the players, understand how the industry works as a whole, and you should not have any issues. If you have any questions, don't forget you can always comment below, and don't forget to click on the subscribe button. I want to say thank you for paying attention. We'll call it a day. I'm sure there will still be some other pointers that we might have missed out on, but we're just giving you a foundation of some of the things to look out for. So you do your due diligence, do your findings, and make sure that you don't run into any scam. It won't pay you, and it won't be good for you based on your hard-earned monies going to waste. So thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye.